We have more drama in the MMA space. And you know what? Before we begin this video, I just want to start off with thank you, Jon Jones. Thank you. For every single time I'm running out of content, every single time I'm making a desperate tier list video and I got to get crazy creative with the topic, Jon Jones comes in here and gives me some of the easiest surefire content I have ever seen. Like, I saw, like, not a lot of people are giving him credit for this, okay? Jon Jones is single-handedly giving the Weasel, MMA Guru, Lucas Tracy, just about every MMA content creator on this app has been able to make revenue off the ducking of Jon Jones, and in this video, the DMs of Jon Jones. No. Before we begin, let me just first clarify. The DMs I am going to show you are alleged. However, there's a few things I want to get into and why I do believe some of these are legit. Some of them maybe not so much. We'll get to that because a lot of crazy stuff is coming out. But there's also some other stuff that is 100% Jon. And I'm sorry. And maybe due to some of the stuff I'm going to show you today, like this is a little bit of a warning. MMA Guru might be right. Okay, like if you watch him, bro might be right. There's some of these that I'm having trouble defending here. I'm not going to hide the carrot. We're going to get into this. We're going to be looking at his Twitter. We're going to be looking at the DMs. And we're going to be looking at some stuff Daniel Cormier said. And then little theories that I have of what's going on right now. With that out of the way, please consider like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, everybody. We're almost at 10K. Thank you, everybody, for your support. All that out of the way, let's get started. All right. We're going to be starting off with the latest tweets of Jon Jones. Can we just start off with this? Jon Jones has to be the biggest athlete I know of that is on his own Twitter. Like, the sheer amount of times that Jon Jones is tweeting, okay? It is insane to me. And I've hinted to this in other videos, but I do believe Jon Jones is one of the most connected to public opinion UFC fighters that I've ever seen. And I think he realizes the amount of power that the fans have over how this sport sways. Because he does have a few tweets that are egging me onto this. In the serum, like, I think Jon Jones is on Twitter more than Paulo Costa. Legitimately. I think at this point in time, Jon Jones is on Twitter more than any other UFC fighter right now. Even more than Conor McGregor. Because this man is responding to just about everything. Somebody said, bruh, just fight Stipe and Tom Aspinall. Nobody will have any complaints. I don't know why you're choosing to take this route. Well, I have an idea of why people are trying to take this route. Mostly because Stipe is just the easiest fight. I'm sorry. If you're comparing Stipe and Tom, you can't really make an argument that Stipe is better than Tom. Like, I'm sorry, like that's just a bad argument. But now we got Jon Jones over here. He's making a false equivalency, as we would say. Hey, Tom Brady, you still look healthy. Give us 2 more Super Bowls and I'll personally be more impressed by your career. So, I understand why he would say that because he views himself as the undisputed GOAT of the UFC. And I will say this, Jon Jones is the only dude ever, okay? I want you to think about this. Jon Jones is the only dude ever in UFC history where they called him the GOAT after winning a fight. Jon Jones beats Cyril Gane. Joe Rogan, I love Joe Rogan. I do. I don't think Joe Rogan watches as much MMA as he used to. I don't blame him. Biggest podcast in the world. He called Jon Jones the undisputed GOAT in the post-fight speech that he did. That's only ever happened once. So I understand why Jon Jones is already in there. And viewing himself as the Tom Brady of MMA, honestly, I understand what we're going to here. But at the same time, dog, Tom Brady's also lost at this point. Like, if you're going to compare yourself to Tom Brady, does that mean you're lost as well? Like, I wouldn't say that. You're 36 years old. I think we have gotten to the point that Jon Jones not fighting Tom Aspinall is more damaging to his career than fighting Tom and losing. Understand this. If none of this happened, okay? If Jon Jones just said, I want to fight the best people at heavyweight and then I'll retire. He fights Tom Aspinall and loses. People are just going to say, well, yeah, this was a Jon Jones that was out of his prime. Tom Aspinall would have lost to a prime Jon Jones. That would have been the storyline going into it. But now it's gotten to the point that, like, even if you're a Jon Jones fan, as brain dead as they are, listen, yeah, Jon Jones fans are the worst fan base in the entirety of the UFC. You could say shit like, yeah, Jon Jones, a great fighter, not a great human being. Well, him beating his wife should not even go into count if he's a good person or not. Look at all the Bible quotes he posts. Listen, we'll cover that in a second. I'm not going to lie to you. It does bother me that a dude who has done the things that Jon Jones has done will post a few Bible quotes. And, like, it would be... I wouldn't mind it if he wouldn't continue to do real shitty things. Like, come on. Like, if you're going to go through this I've been reborn again thing, can we continue it? Like, I'm sorry. Like, maintain a character for more than 3 months. But there you go. I hate this. And even people like MMA, boxing, casual. False equivalence. You are the champion of the heavyweight division. It's your duty and responsibility to fight the best contenders, especially interim champs. Vacate if you want your gimmick fights. Based. Give him a follow. Honestly, man, that's good. I didn't read this before, but like, yeah, no, MMA, boxing, casual. I like that. Yeah, there we go. People are getting to his side. We got Anthony 47. Then let go of the belt. Brady ain't holding on to the belt. Thank you. And I know Weasel said something about this. First off, I thought the Weasel was American. But the way that he talks about American football, 100% bro's not American. I didn't know that about the dude. Yeah, no. It's not like Tom Brady is still the Super Bowl champion. Like, yeah. You understand why this is just a dumb argument? Like, anybody who understands American football, this is just dumb. It's not like the Patriots are still the one other team in the Super Bowl, and now only one other team can do it, and that one other team is the fucking Cardinals, who haven't been in a Super Bowl in like 7 years. That's how dumb this argument is. But I'm done reviewing this tweet. We got a lot to get to. Okay. We got... Oh, the fucking lock screen. You know what? Yeah, no, fine. We can do the lock screen. Completely unprompted, mind you. Completely unprompted. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, for whatever reason, Jon Jones wanted to sew off his fucking lock screen. Bro, MMA Guru might be right. This is some of the most... Bro, what is this? Why? Stipe Miocic, I want Jon Jones. Don't blank about the title. I don't care about the title. I just want to fight Jon Jones. What? Okay, cool. That's the only fight promotion Stipe has given you. What? And that's probably like the only... You probably had to have subtitles underneath Stipe Miocic saying that for you to understand what he was saying. I like Stipe. Stipe has absolutely no reason to speak like he does. Bro, he lives in Ohio. He is an hour and 30-minute drive from me. What do you... How can we not understand you? Like, that accent makes no sense to me. But yeah, what the hell is this lock screen, bro? Like, if it was like a fan-made poster of, like, Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic, so cool. What the fuck is this, bro? I'm sorry, like, I can't defend that. Okay, like, that's just strains. Okay. That's so bad. And then we go up. So Jon Jones tweeted this one out yesterday. Even though it's flattering to be begged, I'm done with the distractions. Got the biggest fight of my life coming up. I'm sorry. Stipe Miocic is not the biggest fight of your life. Like, I would argue Dominic Reyes was a bigger fight. It just was, because Dominic Reyes at the time was looking like one of the greatest prospects in like heavyweight history. Your Shogun Rua fight was bigger. I would even Albert Glover Teixeira. I think the Gustafsson fights, the Daniel Cormier fights, those were all bigger than the Stipe fight. Because look at this! I'm done with the distractions. Highly, highly doubt that. Agreed. Stipe in a big fight, homie. Whatever the fuck that is. Ignore the haters, brother. Okay. Jacob, you paid for a fucking check mark. Yeah, I'm not taking anything. Biggest fight against the elderly. Agreed. Everyone waited years for you to go to heavyweight. Now everyone just wants you to leave. Tragic. Yeah, because Jon Jones could have fought Stipe in his prime, but didn't. Like that, I've heard this argument going around. People like, the fans are so ungrateful. They've been wanting Jon Jones to fight Stipe Miocic for years, but now that Jon Jones wants to make it happen, nobody's happy with him. Oh, poor Jon. Bro, Stipe Miocic, this is like Dominic Cruz fighting O'Malley. Yeah, it would have been cool if Dominic Cruz was in his prime right now. That'd be a fun fight. It's not cool anymore. We're done with the 90s, bro. Nobody cares about... Dude, the UFC didn't even give a shit about Stipe. Why do you think they wanted Francis to replace him so badly? I'm sorry, that's just a dumb argument to make. Stipe has no place in the number 1 contendership. I would argue he's not even a number 3 contender in this division. I think Cyril Gane has done more losing. Derek Lewis has had more wins than Stipe Miocic has. I saw something crazy that the equivalent of this in lightweight would be like Islam Makhachev asking for Benson Henderson. But believe it or not, Benson Henderson has had 2 fights in the time that Stipe has been KO'd all the way up till now. So Benson Henderson fighting Islam Makhachev makes more sense than Stipe fighting Jon Jones, if we're going to go off that. I love that we have all come together on this one. I really do. People are saying, oh, well, it's the easiest fight. You can look past Stipe. I won't. Brother, MMA Twitter is the greatest. I don't care. We have the greatest community in sports. We do. Has there ever been such a bad fight made in the UFC that the favorite has to try to convince people it's a good fight? Thank you, AJ. This is the only fight that the UFC is actively telling you that this is going to be a pay-per-view blockbuster. We didn't care the last time because there wasn't an interim champion. You made a mistake by making Tom Aspinall an interim, but now, instead of pretending that he's not there, you need to fight him. And then the fans just keep on coming. Turn around and look at Tom. Agreed. A win over John would be worth more than any belt, but you take out Stipe easily. He isn't gifted like you. Elias, you must shut up over there. What do you think about Stipe's best attribute? Shut up, Falcon. Well, we have these little Jon Jones glazers here. They're just... I'm convinced that they're bots. I'm sorry. They have to be bots. There's just no way. And then we got another one. Over here. Okay. We have somebody saying, ignore the haters, brother. You signed to fight Stipe before Aspinall won that contender belt. Oh, it's him again! Fucking Jake. Listen... 100% disabled veteran. Thanks for screenshotting my profile. Okay, I feel bad now. But your opinion on combat sports is awful. I'm sorry. Okay, so people understand that as clear as day, yet choose to ignore it. Good to know. Reminds me of a bunch of entitled little kids mad because the game isn't being played by their rules. This is what I mean. Jon Jones is frustrated and realizes that because the UFC doesn't have a bracket system, and as much as I do love the UFC, I do call it a meritocracy because I think 90% of the time it is a meritocracy. The best people fight the best people. This is that 10% of the time when we're dealing with superstars like Jon Jones, where the rules seem to change a little bit. Tom Aspinall objectively will sell more pay-per-views than Stipe Miocic. You want to know how I know that? Let's look through the pay-per-view numbers of Stipe. I'm sorry. This is... I'm telling you what... I'm going to tell you what I think's going to happen. Stipe Miocic versus Jon Jones is going to be one of the most stacked cards we have ever seen. And then when that fight does happen and the card sells well, they're going to say, yeah, I told you. I told you the fans would love to see it. Meanwhile, you have Sean O'Malley fighting Ilia Topuria as the co-main event. Alexander Volkanovski versus whoever the fuck. And then... Conor McGregor fighting Charles Oliveira, some crazy built card. I don't actually think that's what their card's going to be. I think they're going to stack that card beyond belief, UFC 309. And then when that card does well, they're going to glaze Jon Jones and tell all the fans that said it was a dumb fight, saying, oh, well, you bought it anyways. They did the same thing with Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera. O'Malley is not a huge pay-per-view star. Understand, O'Malley is a star, not a pay-per-view star. There's a difference. Sean O'Malley... His fan base are a bunch of people that, one, either aren't allowed to buy a pay-per-view because they're too young, or are young enough that they, yes, have the money to do it, but are just going to pirate it. Sean O'Malley is a star. His demographic isn't buying the pay-per-views. Sean Strickland is a star. His demographic doesn't know how to pirate. There's a difference. I can make a whole video going over that. People are saying O'Malley's not a star. Look at the pay-per-views. No! It's because his fan base steals it. Now, Jon Jones is in this weird spot. Most of the people can agree that this fight doesn't make any sense, but if they stack the pay-per-view, I'll buy it. It's as simple as that. Ugh. I had like a nail in there. What's going on? But anyway, yeah. This is that Jon Jones thing. Now we're going to be going into the DMs. For one, I do believe that these are legit. Okay, I do. Embrace yourself. Some of them are pretty graphic.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got no.
I'm just kidding. I had to throw one in there. MMA Twitter's goated. I had to throw one. Just because of the guru stuff, I gotta give one. Now we're gonna get into the real DMs. We got these two. Number one. Actually, yeah, let's start off with this. So Jon Jones allegedly messaged a fan and said, okay, what if I'm a filthy rich and literally own not one, but two small mansions in the same town? What does that make me? Just curious. So he messaged that completely unprovoked. All that money and you're still this much of an insecure coward, LMAO. Just go fight Stipe, then retire so we can forget about you already. Keep ducking, pal. That might be a 10-7. Like, legitimately speaking, if you are going to message first, and this man's going to hit you with, you're going to be forgotten anyways, with a picture of the dude that you are ducking, I'm sorry. That's a 10-7. That's a 10-8 in my book. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, the people that are coming in here and trying to defend this, because there are people that are, even though they'll say, well, it's alleged, but, and then they'll start defending Jon. I'm sorry. Jon Jones has this weird thing where he'll justify him being a good person, and every once in a while he'll flash his money. I'm sorry. It doesn't make you a good person if you're rich. Like, this whole flexing, I have money, is just outdated now because most people realize that, yeah, cool, you're rich. I'm your boss because I pay for the pay-per-views. And that's something that Jon Jones does understand, and it pisses him off. Okay? Jon Jones is a guy about legacy. He just is. He understands that the UFC is going to go to where the money is. The UFC doesn't want to do Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall because they do believe that fight is a risky fight for Jon, and they don't want to risk anything with their pay-per-view star. Jon Jones wants to do Stipe because it is a relatively easy fight. There's another DM where he talks about that he's going to make $15 million on this one. That, I don't know. $15 million seems crazy high. If that is true, if the alleged DM is true that he's making $15 million to fight Stipe Miocic, holy shit, that is crazy. I think he makes somewhere around $5 million though. Still a millionaire, but like, still. And then we got another one. Dude. Another DM. This is the one that I saw on Twitter a while back. Wait, let me want to get a full one. Wait. No. Okay, this is good enough. We have Jon Jones. How much you call an elite compared to you? You see, we're starting off with, I'm an elite, I got money, my opinion matters, your opinion doesn't. I hate that, especially when he's going to start quoting Bible quotes right after that, which is fairly ironic. I have multi-millionaire friends. Okay, cool. Several billionaire friends. Friends in the highest branches of the military. Okay. This guy had a lot of friends too. He had friends everywhere. Did that work out well for him? Was he doing the greatest thing? Does that make him a great person? I don't think so. Yeah, cool. You have big friends. Fight for a living. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, that doesn't make you a great person. Like, doing this band for band in the DMs when all these people are really saying is that they're calling you a duck for ducking Tom Aspinall. Then fight Tom Aspinall. Like, that's all you have to do. Meanwhile, you make 3D designs, you have no followers, probably still trying to pay off your house. This one is so personal. I believe this one the most. Like, I do. I'm sorry. There's something so personal about the 3D designs, you have no followers, probably still trying to pay off your house. Like, that's such a personal blow. That even Daniel, and I've hinted to Daniel Cormier, and I'll tell you what Daniel Cormier thinks on this, and I'll have a link to his full video in the description down below if you want to watch it. But there's something about this line that I feel like is true. Yeah, most people don't own a house. It's not the best economy right now. You're rich. You fight in a cage for a living. Like, what's going on? Willing to bet you live in an apartment. All right, but yeah, let's make fun of me. Damn right we're going to make fun of you. You beat your wife. Like, I was like, bro, your children called the cops on you. I have had Jon Jones fans straight up message me, talking about, well, it's kind of unfair to bring this up. And he's definitely trying to be a good person. Have we drank the Kool-Aid already? Jon Jones is not trying to be a great person. I'm sorry. If you believe Jon Jones is a great human being, I don't know how to explain to you. He's not. Like, it's fair game. It really is. Like, I do not lose sleep off throwing some shots at Jon Jones. He's a great fighter, not a great human being. They don't mix well. I got a domestic violence charge about 4 years ago now, maybe even 5 years ago. Meanwhile, I made close to $20 million since then. Like, if this does turn out to be 100% confirmed, which I don't know if it will, what a major piece of shit. Imagine flexing that you got out of a domestic violence charge of beating your wife and then saying, well, look at all the bands I made. I never want to hear any more TED Talk bullshit, quoting bullshit. I never want to hear about any foundation you're donating to. I don't want to hear about anything about that because you're one bad night away from turning into O.J. Simpson. I've said that multiple times. I do maintain. Look up what O.J. was doing with his wife before the incident. Okay? At this channel, we are not fan of O.J. I don't think many people are. Jon Jones, you're one bad night away from that. My wife is still with me. Oh, fuck the shit out of me every night. My life is Gucci. Now, Guru came to a very different conclusion off reading that. He thinks Jon Jones gets pegged, which I'm all for the Jon Jones slander. I just think his wife has Stockholm Syndrome. That's what I think's going on. I'm not going that far, but I mean, like, I don't mind the slander at all. My life is Gucci. Alright, telling my buddy Jeff to sus probably wasn't a good idea. It's not hard to find you. So, okay. Let's go through this for all the Jon Jones fans in the back that are either, maybe they're still watching, maybe they're still in denial. So he's flexing having multi-powerful friends. Okay. Basically, going band for band with a Twitter troll. Okay. Talking about how he got away with a domestic violence charge and still became a millionaire. And talking about how his wife has Stockholm Syndrome. And then threatens to dox a guy. What a great human being, bro. Holy crap. Amazing person. But are these legit? I can't tell you in this video, but I do got a professional opinion on standby. We got Daniel Cormier. I'm going to be real. I did not know Daniel Cormier had a channel. Like, at all. But I didn't think I was going to like it, but I'm actually kind of a fan. I have it to the 1623, and we're going to be talking about what Daniel Cormier thinks about this. Full volume. Let's listen.
There is something that I was going to talk about that I didn't know if it was true, but I will touch it anyway. I don't fucking care. Because you know what? I know Jones, and if you have to ask me, I believe it's true. I believe it's true. Now,
let's fucking go. Now, the reason that I do trust Daniel Cormier in this one, and I'm not just having a confirmation bias, he used to message Daniel Cormier the entirety of the build-up into that fight. Every time that Daniel Cormier, like, won the belt and he was the champion for a little bit, he would do nothing but DMing him and talking shit. I have no problem with that. But I'm going to take Daniel Cormier's opinion on this. And the reason, let me tell you, I'm going to rank these in terms, I think this one's true. I really do. There's something that's just so personal about making fun of a dude who does 3D designs and ending it off with telling my buddy Jeff to, like, there's just something so malicious and personal about that. I believe there is some level of truth to this. This one I'm very 50-50 on, but we're talking about a dude who is a serial Twitter user. I have never met a UFC fighter that uses Twitter this much. Is it really that far-fetched to say that he's DMing people and just saying, oh, well, none of that's true, they're just Twitter trolls? I mean, what? They'll never take that seriously. I mean, dude, come on. I'm not saying that it's 100%. I am merely conferring of maybe it is true, maybe it isn't, and if it is true, he's not a great person. I mean, he's not really a great person either way, but I mean, like, he's really not a great person. If you're flexing that you're going to be making $15 million in a fight against an elderly Stipe Miocic while diminishing everything that Tom Aspinall has done, making fun of the people, like attacking the people that are being very critical of you, and then bragging about the fact that I have 2 mansions in a small town. First off, what an impractical use of money. Yeah, that's rich coming from me talking about I don't got bands to compare with Jon Jones. But like, I'm going to ask you, would you have 2 mansions in the same hometown? Like, I'm sorry, is there a place on this planet that you like so much that you would have 2 mansions? Like, maybe one in, like, like, the southern part of the United States and one in the northern part? But, like, 2 mansions in the same town is just crazy to me. Like, that bothers me the most for whatever reason, but yeah. Just dissecting this whole Jon Jones beef and all this drama that he's given all these content creators to feast on. I thank you, Jon. You're giving me numbers. And thank you, everybody who's gone down this Jon Jones rabbit hole with me. And if you haven't already, please consider like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me in the algorithm. We're about to get to 10,000 subscribers. And with all that said and done, have a great day.